Hey, I've had a lot of questions about one wheel. The most common one being how fast does it go? It'll do 18, and then the second question being how far does it go? And it'll go about 18 miles. And this is the one wheel XR. There's a smaller one that'll do 10 miles, and the smaller one is probably going to be fine for like 75% of people. Trying to think of any other questions I have. How much does it cost? If you get all the accessories and such, you can be up to about $2,600. Tires cost about $90, and you will go through tires on the thing. There's a brand new one that just came out, and it'll do like 26 miles. You don't have to go fast on them. You pretty much just rotate it around here. Can I rotate it while I'm in this view? I don't know. You don't have to go fast. Today I was just enjoying music, and I was dancing at a 1 to 2 mile an hour pace, and you could do that going on your way there. So even though it might take you 20 minutes to get someplace, going so slow on your one wheel that you're slower than a walking pace. Even though it takes you 20 minutes to get there, you enjoyed it the entire 20 minutes you had up there. But I'm looking to do some music videos and such to kind of show off all the potential that you have with having your hands free. And really having this nice little transition of transportation along with a much more human feel to it. I'm not controlling things. Diving dog. You're really limited to how many muscles you're gonna use while you're driving, and you're not going to use your main muscles, your hips, at all. And so like that is just really wearing on a person. You spend 2 hours a day in a car, and that's 2 hours that you didn't spend working out. Yeah, it's very unnatural to spend all that time in a vehicle in sedentary motion. That was kind of cool today. I was working on trying to stretch while you're on the one wheel, and so I'm not going very fast. Then you can also kind of see. I'll do that. And so once I came off balance, you just kind of jump off of it. See, this is how far you're up in the ground, and so as long as you're moving it slowly like this, as you jump off and stuff, you're only going very slow. Now this isn't really to scale, but it's And so if you're learning to do this, don't do it in the street like I'm doing it. Go to a controlled parking lot. Don't even do it on concrete. Take it on grass. Here we'll go over to old folks home. Yeah, like if it's, as long as it's flat, you can skateboard it. If there's too many holes and stuff, the tire can kind of get stuck in there, and then maybe fall over and such. But yeah, let's go find a little old folks home, has some grass, and so I'll come over here and talk about when the first thing you can do is just grab onto something and hold on to it while you get your feet all balanced and such, because your feet have all these muscles in them, and they're very atrophied from I gotta show them how to ride through here. So we need a good entry spot. So we got a bunch of holes there, and so then we can go right here. And so, yeah, in the grass and stuff, it's a nice grass. The nice thing about grass is, like if you fall over, you're falling onto the grass. So the safety feature of this thing is that you go slow. Go slow and really get your muscles oriented. When you first get on one of these, the first thing you do is drive it as fast as you can like a car. That is a terrible idea. You can die. If you're going to be doing over 10 miles an hour, you need a helmet, you need a jacket, you need gloves, because what happens is when you're going to speed and something happens, we're going sideways, and as you go off, what'll happen is you can end up like a rag doll, and you'll just start, and all that force will go into your head. Whap. And so that's if there's no other vehicles are involved. You'll just die, or you'll get. I got a pretty bad concussion doing that, and yeah. So you get a one wheel. Don't go crazy fast. Just sit in a park, cruise around. As you fall over, you fall on grass. It's not a big deal falling over. You don't have to catch yourself with an iron. What's up? You want to try it? Come over. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So the main thing is when you're coming up to it and you stop, you can just jump off at 2 feet.
So to accelerate, all you would do is just go forward?
Yeah. So if you grab my hand.
Yeah.
So this hand.
Okay, this hand.
Okay. Now you're going to balance. And now feel how it's, so the motor's going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So as you tilt this way.
So it goes where?
Yep, and you can either go the other way. Here, grab my hand better. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
So
terrible.
if you're going too slow.
Go the other way too, right?
Yep.
Okay, I think my right here.
Right. Yeah. If when you're first learning, it's really helpful just to have someone hold your hand, and they can hold two hands, almost like you're dancing. But someone holding your hand on the ground, because you're only 6 inches off the ground. I let everybody try it. They're like, oh my goodness, try that thing. And so you just make sure you hold their hand, because the worst thing that'll happen is that they'll leave one foot on the board, and because it's angled that way, it'll race away from them, so they can kind of pull a groin, or they can get hurt because they don't understand. Like, if you're gonna jump off of it, you got to jump off of 2 feet. There's 2 sensors. There's 4 sensors. There's 2 sensors on both sides. If you want to stop, you just kind of pick up. Oh, I didn't do it, but it'll click. You'll feel it kind of click. And then it'll disengage itself, but there's like a standby phase. It's like, hey, are you sure you want to turn me off? Because if you can be going 18 miles an hour, and if you put that tilt up, it'll shut off on you and such, but it'll give you that little delay. The guys at One Wheel, I don't know who they are, but they've engineered this thing amazingly. It is so intelligent, and I've heard that they keep on work on it. It updates through your phone, so it'll track stuff. I haven't used that thing, but you can still get hurt on this thing. It doesn't matter how much they engineer it. If you're dumb enough to ride this thing at 18 miles an hour with no helmet, with limited experience in traffic, you're gonna die. you're going to get severely injured, just like a motorcycle wreck. So you have to, like, these things are not dangerous when used properly, but that can be pretty much said about everything. So I don't remember where I got through here. So just visited my grandma's grave, and she actually used to be here, and I used to come visit my grandma here. But on my way to visiting my grandma, I'd see all these other people, and I recognized them, but I can't remember maybe their names and such. But it's like you can't visit them during this COVID stuff anyways. But I miss having grandma there, because she gave me access to these other older people that I really enjoyed. Oh, this is November in Montana. If you're going to come to Montana, September and October are hands down the best months for eastern Montana. There's hunting season, the bugs are gone. So they say, if you're going to come to Montana, show up before the bugs come out or after the bugs all go away or something. And so that's your spring, and then your fall, the hot July, and some of that stuff in late June can be not as much fun. We're cruising down 6th Avenue here. So I'm on the one wheel, and it's going the opposite direction that you think it's going. So I'm on this board, and as I lean down, it's trying to compensate and turn me back up, and that's what drives it forward. And so this is a pretty good slant, but it'll go up the hill. Car. I think you treat cars like you would if you're playing we used to play football in the streets here. Actually down this street up here. So when you have traffic and you're new, just stop the board, jump off the board, take it to the side, and let the traffic go by. If you're going to use a one wheel, go to streets that have low traffic, very low traffic. And this is after you're comfortable getting on it and rolling around initially. That's what we did up there with the grass. So we have this dirt. We can go through dirt. Gravel. So it'll go over stuff, and this could be soft, but it looks like it'd be all right. And it's just a big tire. You're balancing on, a tiny little tire patch. I don't know if we can try these big holes. Yeah, pretty uneventful. That's where my grandma used to live, up there. And this used to be where we'd run our bikes and sleds down. But they fenced it all in. And before that, it used to be they actually had a little pond here, and there was some fish in it. It was my buddy's handiwork. Rented out to people years ago, and they spent a bunch of money on it, and then they ripped all I don't want to talk about it. It's a bad story. My dad didn't get paid. So he was pretty mad at that. Oh, and they just wrecked the house when they left too. Yeah, guy was a big shot, spent all his money, and then Didn't pay anybody in. Doesn't make... I'm sure he didn't feel good about it. Give me a one over on that one. Kitty. Kitty. Meow meow. Here comes the one wheel. Res cat. Don't even care. What's up, bud? Oh, he's coming up. He's like, what's that? What's that, huh? Wanna come with me? You're cute. Yeah. I love cats. Just chilling. Beautiful out. One of the things I've enjoyed most about the one wheel is that it has been getting me outside. I'm an extrovert. I love talking with people, and I like youth too. When a kid sees me perform a move on my one wheel with maybe a little bit of a dance, it puts an imprint in their head that that's possible. And I think there's a lot of where we used to play football. When a child is learning something, and this is for most people too, like as we get older, we start to think of things as a linear path down. You know, you learn this step, then this step, then this step, then this step. But it doesn't work that way for children because they have no idea what the world is. So when you have your first or initial contact, you know, I'm riding this one wheel, but I'm dancing on it. In a child's mind, he takes that and sets that as that this is doable, and he makes all a circle, 360 degrees of potential. Everybody's got their dogs outside. I wish they were walking the dogs. They take that idea of one wheel, and now they're saying I can dance when I travel anywhere. So in a small child's mind, he takes this one wheel and he puts wings on it. He puts turbos on the back, and now instead of riding it on the street, he's flying it through the sky. And that's what makes kids so wonderful, is that their creativity isn't already stamped in. You know, this is how things done. This is the order of things. You do things this way, then this way, and then this way. Linear path. There's a critical path. This is the most efficient way to do this possible. It's nice. It's like 50 degrees, but I love 50 degrees out, and even like round down to 44 because I can just do the single sweater. It's illusion. And I'm already sweating in it too. But I'm a big old heavy Norwegian body, so I need that colder climate. I'm a sweat hog down in those southern states. Looking at this house, thinking about doing pod housing, and what I like about that place is that it has a really nice communal area with the great big windows. So, and that's all nice wood floor, and it has a big basement. So the pod living idea is we take an established bedroom, established house, just take a house like that, and we take the bedrooms and we turn them into pods. We put like 4 to 6 pods in there, full-size beds, queen beds, you know, if it's a really big room, but mostly just twin beds for one person, so they can crawl up from it. They can crawl into it, they can crawl down to it, but you have a separator wall in between them all, and then you have some kind of door or curtain, but you have your private space in the house. And so we put 12 people in the house, and we like your pod is your space, but then when you go out to the living room, kitchen, shared bathroom area, that's everybody's space. And like I like the idea of having a TIG welder out there, sewing machine, leatherworking station, electronic soldering station, these work areas. But that's me, and like that's not going to be everybody's thing. But for me, I want to have people come up as a classroom environment, and we play great music. We have another thing. So we have 12 people in the house. We just have 1 or 2 people. There's some of my dogs out there. They don't tie them up over here, but they hold their spot down. Yeah, bud. Distracted me from my video. It's probably the best part of the video. People like, show more dogs. I'm like, I'm trying to save the world. So here's some kids up here, and so they see me on the one wheel, and they're putting an imprint in their head. And when they see it, and if I can be bouncing around and really enjoying myself and showing them that you can do all this stuff on the thing. See, so usually I'll be listening to music and I'll dance on the one wheel as I'm traveling, and it's tremendous visual effects. I'm a large dude, 6'2", 200 pounds, but I'm very coordinated. I was a wrestler and a football player, and my mom learned me to dance and swim before I remember. So now as new technology has come into play, we have this gyro. Everything that we liked before the gyro one wheel, we're still going to enjoy, but we're just going to add it to this new piece of technology. So we know that we like music. I know that I like dancing. Can I do it while I'm traveling somewhere? And for that purpose, the one wheel is the best thing there is in the world right now. I'm not supposed to say but they teach you that in my sister Stu. It's a speech group, Toastmasters, and they sit there and it's a very nice group because they're very nice about their critiques, and I think everybody, if we could all learn to critique better, I think we'd have a better situation than what we have right now. But that's off the topic. Let's go back to pod living. So we have our house, maybe 2 bedrooms. Let's put 8 people in there, and we'll make the communal areas music. We'll put a bunch of musical instruments in there, and you can have it spaced out so people are coming throughout the day, and we're getting kids bands together, we're getting adult bands together, we're getting kids to just spend time with the tools being a one wheel, the tools being musical instruments, the pianos, but they're in a house and they're secured, and we're going to maximize the amount of tools available to the people in the community. So every house has its own purpose-built communal, and these people that are living in there, they're the ones that are saying what they want. So Paul comes up with this idea of putting the pods in the houses, and then taking the doggies. Let's go. That one's not that. There's gonna probably be like 8 of them up here. Like there was the other day they were chasing me. Dog sitting. Why don't we have this one be like dog sitting? And then when we get to dog sit, we can use it really as therapy. So you have someone that's recovering from an addiction, coming out of jail, pedophile, whatever it is. The fact is that they're still people and they have a problem and they need something in their life to give them a reason to continue and hope that, that they're a rightful citizen, whatever. Just give them hope that, and deal with their issues. Yes, pedophilia, raping, murdering, whatever the sin is, it's got to be dealt with socially. Like, it happened, it's wrong, but we need to move on. And can we get this person where they understand, yes, you've sinned, and yes, we can forgive you, but you still have to understand that we're still going to learn from this. It's going to be always hard for people to trust you. But maybe one of these houses, when we fill it with a bunch of rescue dogs, the dogs are going to accept you. Children that don't know, they're going to accept you if you're a quality role model. And we're going to push role models. Hey, be a good role model. I don't know what the role model is supposed to be for you. You're your own person. 97% of you is just fine. There's 3% of you that could be causing a problem. Or there's 3% of you that you do want to work on. You should take pride in that 3%, but know that the person that you grew up as, your parents, this town, the government, and all that system that brought you to right here, 97% of that is just fine. You don't need to go crazy and change so much. 3%. And you should take pride of it, and you should be mindful of what that 3% really is. Because there's things that you're probably working on that don't mean much. They are things that you can spend a lot of time in and you don't receive the value back. And your time should be high investment. It's the highest of investments. Oh, we got another person enjoying the view, enjoying the day. Feel better, I don't know. Feel better being outside. So, one of the biggest problems with tribal housing, this is northeast Montana, and they didn't put a garage in the schematic. So, like, the only place in northeast Montana is the reservation where they didn't put garages when they made the houses. And it's just stupid. It's stupid because there's 6 months out of the year where you can't work outside here. And, they end up having to work outside. And it's like not having a roof over your head when you're working, not having... Are you keeping the dogs at bay? Oh, my foot is kind of falling asleep here. Oh, I don't know where to stop though. Stop. There's a park up here. I'll go hang out at the park. I wish I could have some background music while I'm videoing that I could be listening to. What? Oh, so communal living, yeah. So we don't have garages here. So maybe we just take some of these houses and we clear them out. We take all the people situation out of them and we just put a bunch of garage doors all over the house. So then we drive the cars essentially. Well, that's probably not going to work because of the concrete slab. Skip that idea. But we need communal areas that you can work on your transportation. There's a little park over here. God, I feel good this morning. Let's find a bench. Oh, there's a swing set. Oh, my right foot is falling asleep. Oh. Ah. Oh. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, you can do all that fun, cool stuff riding your wide wheel, but you're getting older and my butt don't fit in this thing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a video, I bet. Like, what the hell? Most people like see these videos on their phone and they're talking, just skip. Because your phone is mostly a visual thing. Oh, it's all a visual thing for the mobile phones, because most people aren't wearing their headphones and such, and they're having to just visually think of it. So, man, these dogs are. Get him, little tiny dog. See, I don't know if you can see that. They're not my kids, so I don't want to approach them. Oh, it's pretty out. I think I need like a selfie stick. We were watching a buddy of mine over at the garage. We were talking about my one wheel, and they have unicycles, and that's you put it between your legs and you ride facing it, but it's got a much thinner tire, and the guys run the unicycles. I don't know, it's just when you're on the one wheel, your feet are spread out over shoulder length apart, and so you're having the base to start off with. But when you're on a uni wheel, your feet are very tight. They're tighter than hip width and such. And along with the smaller tire, these guys all have heavy duty motorcycle gear on. But they're cruising. They're going really fast. But while they're on it, they can't move a lot. They're just sit there super tense, and they just look like they're always like prepared for a wreck. So that, the competition for one wheel is all these different ideas. Are you going to go forward or are you going to go sideways? One wheel goes sideways, but you can have one wheels that go forward. Would be they had these ones with two tires that went forward and backwards, and it used the same gyro principle. As you lean, the motor catches up with you and keeps you level. Like the computer and the motor, the only thing they're trying to do is keep that pad level. It doesn't actually care what the tire's doing. Roomba? No, Roomba's a vacuum. Looking over at a bunch of kids under like 8 years old. Hey, what's this complicated electric device that was only used in Silicon Valley and other nerdy places? God, I think it's kind of old too, but that was first generation. But you had the handles, and you stood on it, and as you lean forward, the motor would catch up with you, and it would drive forward. It takes the force of you essentially turning the wheel this way, and then the motor is stopping you from just falling flat. First generation gyro motor person transporter. But the original, they were expensive. Those things are like $10,000. But enough people got them in the same place that for a while they played this one horse game. You crochet, like you take a hammer and you hit the ball. I remember hearing stories on podcasts that they talked about. They just had they had 12 of these gyro two-wheelers, and they were driving them around, and they had to hit the ball with the hammer towards the goal. But they used to do it on horses. I don't remember what the name is for that. It's so nice out. I'd like to make this park better. They put one of these houses in charge of that. Okay, your living space, the quarters, can just be a bunch of yard equipment storage. So you can come out here and have tools a bunch of steel weed eaters and chainsaws and welders and whatever. Parks and Rec or whatever. Garbage boxes. Oh shoot, they got nets on them. They put glass ones up here, and the rumor was some kid came out like a big rock and just kept on throwing it at these glass boards. They were supposed to be unbreakable. Well, Res Kid figured they weren't Res Kidable. Oh, so am I on? It says I'm on, so when it's blinking, I'm on. So it might have just been in standby phase or whatever, but I might be like in a hole or something. Hey, puppy, how's you doing? How's you doing? You checking out my one wheel? Are you checking out my one wheel? Oh, so going over rocky steps like this. I've developed a lot of strength in my feet, and my core. So on the one wheel, you're going to be mostly using your core, your upper shoulders, because you can use your shoulders to get momentum going in a certain direction, so that you can at the bottom, boom. So I'm throwing my shoulders, and then through the momentum, I'm transitioning it through my core and then down into my feet. So you can any kind of workout that you do, if you can involve the larger muscle groups and the more muscle groups. So you don't want to just sit and ride standing straight up and down, bad posture. at high speeds like that. Don't do that. You want to be moving around and really engaging your core. I've lost another pant size. I went from a 36 and now these 34s are inappropriately showing too much underwear. Puppies! Like the dog stopped chasing me when I point my cell phone at him. So we're on it's a little highway road. Ride your one wheel. Don't ride your one wheel in areas that are over 25 miles an hour speed limits. If it's 35 mile an hour zone, people are going 40, and like I'm left-footed forward, and so when the car comes by me, because I'm going this way at 40 miles an hour, you know, you can get a little bit of a draft. It'll suck you into the draft. What up, Holmes? And so you have to watch out for the aerodynamic vacuum that cars have. But you know, you're balancing on one wheel, and if you're new to balancing on one wheel, a panic can be catastrophic. If the situation comes up where a car, as it's coming by, you make the wrong move, you're not going to be able to catch your momentum. There's a finite amount of body position that I can get. There's a lean angle and a speed that you can go. It's this gyro angle, you know. If you're holding, oh, we can go over by the railroad. That'd be sweet. But it's nice to, you want to practice being on the furthest edge of that, but you want to have a safe gyroed, a safe base as you're transitioning. Because what'll happen, once you've broken that threshold and the alignment between you and the gyro vehicle is running, you're done. You're going down. If you're driving slowly, you kind of just step off the thing. You hop off the thing. You can catch yourself by the time you make it to the ground. But if you're doing 18 miles an hour, most people can't run 18 miles an hour. So you're going to go down. If you're going to go down, you got to learn to roll. You got to get your head tucked, and you're really trying to save your head. Like, you try to save your head, try to save your joints. You need to have your large muscle groups, your your butt muscles, your upper back, your forearms. If you're going to do a lot of high speed one wheeling, just get a motorcycle jacket, get a helmet, get gloves, because it's catastrophic if you go down. If a car cuts you off and such, and they're doing 40 miles an hour, it's not your fault, but you're dead. But if you got motorcycle gear, you can kind of, if a car is about to hit you, you can jump off your one wheel and use your body to break the collision. if you're about to hit something, if you can get up into a softer spot like their windshield and their hood, the thinner metal, and so you can roll and take all that momentum away, you can survive. But if you don't have a helmet, if you don't have protective gear, you've got a busted head, you've got busted arms, you got busted limbs, you got road rash. So when you buy the one wheel, and you're budgeting it out, budget in the helmet. A bicycle helmet is fine. Budget in some kind of gloves. Budget in some anti-abrasive, some kind of anti-abrasive fabric, and if you can get the pillows or the support, if you can get the pillows or support in the elbows, and then even sometimes those wrist pads or whatever, you can transition the force that you would be taking on your body into those abrasive, anti-abrasive wears. So you take the leather, slowing down traffic. So this is the only time I kind of run it up to 18 miles an hour, is going through the thing. So it's 4-lane. I always want to be on these off-roads, but sometimes if you're going to go through a main section like that, it's important to be moving around. The one wheel has a nice red light, really wonderful, people see you, but when you're riding on one wheel, you want to kind of take up a little bit of the space of the road, and so you'll want to kind of always be carving. Nice movement. You want to increase your visual area, because if you're not moving, it's almost like camouflage, and that's the way it is for motorcycles. If you're standing still and you're coming into an intersection, the mind is going to favor things that are moving, because that's primal. We have to pay attention to our surroundings. So if you're holding still and somehow you're almost camouflaged you're wearing the same color as your background, you're going to be coming through that intersection, and that car is going to turn right into you and smoke you. And they'll be honest about it. They'll say, I didn't even see the person. And it's honest. Most over half of motorcycle fatalities, the main street. Over half of motorcycle fatalities are under 25 miles an hour in intersections. It doesn't even matter if, like, there's some cases and stuff where if you're wearing all this motorcycle gear, if you're not going to be safe on these vehicles, if you're going to allow another car to slam into you, there's no amount of protection that's going to save you. If your brain, if your head fully geared hits something moving 40 miles an hour into you, so 18 plus 25, imagine just slamming into something at 43 miles an hour or something. Just jump off a 5-story building and attempt to survive, because that's what you're doing if you're not going to be safe up here. When you're traveling on roads that have vehicles. The game that we played in with motorcycles was the what if game. You know, if a car is going to come this direction, if this car that's coming in this direction, if you were to swerve into me at the last second, would I have enough practiced memory to swerve out of the way and get away from the tracks next? Because he might have 40 miles an hour on me and such, but I have 18 miles an hour in a 90 to, you know, in a general vector range. So even though he might be coming at me and almost trying to hit me, because I am also powered, I can get out of the way, because his car is going to have to follow his tire patterns. I only have one tire, and I have more lean than him. So you can get away from someone trying to hit you on the vehicle. That's not gonna be a deal. People aren't looking to hunt people down, but they're primarily they joke about it. They'll be in their car and they'll see a biker and be like, 10 points for the biker, like a video game. And when you put a human life on the other side of that, it becomes much worse. Yeah, safety. If you're going to drive these things as a tool, you have to understand that you are a target and that you're always going to be in danger, and that you have no rights as far as life and death scenarios here. When you're coming through an intersection and you have the right of way, but you're seeing a car is kind of being a little bit sketchy and such, don't plow through that intersection and then have that car turn out in front of you and you be surprised at it. You know, you move around a little bit as you're coming up to intersections, kind of establish a rapport, and then kind of get over to the side being like, yes, go by me. Oh, my foot's really getting sore too. It's a lot longer video than I thought. Yeah, that foot is done. I think I'm gonna switch to. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, like, if you're on this thing like less than less than an hour, like I'm coming up on, your feet aren't gonna fall asleep. What up? I'm doing a video.
Look at the Chinese running around down here.
That's it. It's got a pro border signature. He had it before me. But beautiful day. What's happening?
Ain't gonna have many left.
What's up?
Ain't gonna have many left.
I know. That's why I'm enjoying it. That thing is badass. How big of air have you done? Oh, you haven't done any air?
I just rebuilt it. I ain't got maybe fucking 10 miles on it.
Oh man. Like it'd be so hard for me not to send that thing put myself in way more danger than I should.
I got another one.
I like that you have a big.
Yeah,
so you get the space to actually
I just keep it wall
have a base.
Yeah,
that's what on this thing is like. I gotta go wide and such, and then I can get a big carver angle. You know, I'm a lot more stable when I'm wider.
It takes a minute to get used to.
Yeah.
Like them hoverboard bug-ass buggers. There, boy. It hurt my back.
God, this thing is badass. My RC buddies would have everything anodized. They'd have They'd have like airbrushed everything. The RC guys are crazy, man. That max OCD, but still gonna run just as well.
You don't have to look pretty.
God, she's nice. Look at that. I like those knob tires too.
Whatever you pass.
I need some knobby tires. Have a good one, man. Did a wheelie, I missed it. You guys missed it, I watched it. Another doggy. So, riding the one wheel a lot, you'll end up wanting to switch between going right foot forward and left foot forward, because your body will react to it. Puppy! Those dogs. Your body will react. It's separate muscle groups going this direction than this direction. And the more you ride this thing, the more comfortable you'll be able to get. So here's a car coming up. I imagine that they're not going to stop for me. Yeah. Just be safe on the one wheel. Don't mess with cars. Don't give cars an opportunity to get you. So we just don't need one wheels to be. We don't need one wheels to be like so overly regulated that they don't become fun anymore. It's like, just be safe. What up? You gonna ride? You gonna try it?
How long's that thing last?
Oh shit, I've been on it for an hour.
Really?
Yeah, I started this video north side. Oh, I've been through West End.
How fast do you get it going?
It'll do 18.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Say hi to one of the baddest 3-point shooters on the reservation. And then he's a big guy too. Like he he's fuck, he fucks with people all the time. And it's not, I don't know. I'm not supposed to curse, but he knows his steps to get to the basket. So like when he beats somebody, he slows down and kind of lets them catch up, and then he just goes, "Oh, you were so close!" And it's just a really good reservation ball there. So just teasing people, thinking they're almost gonna get that ball. It's like, you were lost back there. Now when are we gonna get balling going again?
I don't know. Probably never.
Shit. Fucking build those gyms, say that they're gonna ball in them, all they do is eat in them. Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of places to eat. There's only one place that we can ball in February.
Yeah.
I'll catch you guys later.
See you later.
Oh, yeah, we played some really good ball. Just open gym, just show up, get on team. Sometimes that team would gel, sometimes it wouldn't. But even if you didn't, one of the wonderful things about basketball was that you didn't have to get along. You could not like each other, just total unfavorable personality types. But if the competition and wanting to win was a higher priority, they would play with you, and often they'd be very good players with that, because they're an opposite. They're going to see things in this direction, and they're going to work on these angles. But if they're all like you, then we find these patterns of thinking, these patterns of movement, these patterns that we do. And the more diverse your team is the advantage. because there's only so many ways to screw in the light bulb. But life isn't one light bulb. There's so much infrastructure and time that goes into the project. One of my favorite times was these, I think Army One, I think is their name, but Bartlett parents, they were talking about I think a shorter A-arm on the rear of the buggy, and I asked him, like, what's the deal, softer, this, that, and whatever, and I love the way they described it. It said it's not the A-arm itself, it's how the rear A-arm affects the rest of the package. So it's going to have these things that we do it to do, but how does it work with the rest of the package? And that set a fire in my heart for so many things that we do. I could have been showing off the housing instead of just back sky. Next video. So what was it? It was, yeah. So we're putting a new part into our life, but what we really need is to think about how that new part that we're putting in our life affects the rest of our life. We talked about earlier how kids will see things as this beautiful circle of 360 degrees of imagination. The one wheel isn't a guy dancing on it driving through his reservation town, but it has a jetpack on it, and it's now this Silver Surfer flying through the galaxy. That's the way kids see this thing, because they put the dynamics together. This thing was possible. Well, everything else in their brain just goes wild on it. Stuff that I'll never would have imagined in my life. But they're just giving them the time to process that A-arm is having a drive. It's having a drive the rear of the car, and so it'll be.
How much did you pay for that?
About 2,200 is what I got into it.
200?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, it's a different tire. It's got some upgrades. And my guy again. Oh, is this a different one? Oh, look at this one. This daycare. So the houses and such, this is awesome. What a wonderful house. This is the most exciting house in Wolf Point for children. It's on the south side. And it's got a big dog. Hi. Cruising my one wheel through town. Oh, what up, Pat? This your place? God, it looks great. Okay, I'm going to shut it off as I hang out with my bro.